Hello, my name's Scott. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review.
It's a kind of magic.
In today's review, we're looking at Colt 52. It's presented by Secret Tannery, a design by Thompson and Gerard Kearney. The review of this is going to be a little different from my usual format because some things don't apply to this, but all of the timestamps will be down along at the bottom of the play bar. But my TLDR on this is that it's fantastic. It's basically an essential tool for any gigging magician. It's going to help you in terms of pocket management. It's going to help you perform better. It's going to make things look more swift. There's no fumbling around in your pockets and it's well made. So that's my TLDR. I highly recommend this. But I'm going to explain a few tips, cons, pros, and some ideas and tell you something that I think is amazing that you get with it. For now, that's my TLDR. I highly recommend it for anyone who's a gigging magician. What is Colt 52? Colt 52 is a deck holder, basically. So it clips on, it has a magnetic closure like this, and it clips on to your trousers. So it has a long neck to it, so that it gets deep inside the waistband of your trousers, and it holds a deck of cards. That's simply what Colt 52 is. It's made out of a vegan leather, or a vegan material, because leather is not a vegan product, so it's imitation leather, and it has this pattern to it on this side. I forget the exact term for this pattern, but it looks really nice, it's really well made, it's really high quality, and it's going to last you a really long time. That's what Colt 52 is. What do you receive with it? You receive the Colt 52 holder itself, you receive this box, and then a link to a tutorial. The tutorial is actually surprisingly good. For something that's really self-explanatory, I think it's Gerard Kearney who takes you through the explanation of this. As I say, much of it is self-explanatory, but Gerard takes you through a handling of a deck switch, which I think is really good. The handling is very sneaky. I think a lot of people are going to get use out of that for things like OmniDeck at weddings and all kinds of events, corporate events. So I think if you do buy this, which I do highly recommend, I do think you should watch the tutorial instructions the whole way through because, as I say, it is a really good deck switch that they didn't have to include. And there's a few ideas and things in there as well, which are useful. But for the most part, I think the instructions are about 15 minutes long. But the one thing that I would say is the key takeaway from it is the fact that the deck switch is very clever and the handling is very sneaky and natural. So that's what you receive when you purchase Colt 52. I just want to interrupt this review for a second. If you find my reviews helpful and if they help you make a purchase or decide not to purchase and save you money, please do support this channel. The more support this channel gets, the more subscribers we get, the more people who interact with the channel, the more reviews I'm going to be able to do, and the more I'm going to be able to help you. I'm trying to do these reviews to help the magic community and help people like you, because there are a lot of reviewers who talk absolute nonsense. So if you do enjoy this channel and you do find my content useful, then please do share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate everything everyone does for this channel. Back to the review. Now we're going to, unlike my usual reviews, go straight to my final thoughts because there's not much else to talk about with this. There's no angle restrictions or anything like that. There's no pocket space. So one thing that I want to mention about this is that it only really works in one direction, as in it only works realistically for left-handed people. So if you hold your deck in your left hand, the way that it sits against your body at this angle is going to work this way, but you can't really do that if you hold a deck of cards in the right hand. So it's not designed to be used with the right hand. So it will have to be used for people who are not left-handed but hold their deck in their left hand, which I think is most people, but there are some people who do hold their deck in their right hand. So that's one thing to consider. Also, the second thing to consider is that although the lip of this is really deep and wide, and it's been designed like that so that it stays in your trousers, even if the magnetic closure doesn't connect, which I'll come on to in a moment, but this will keep it lodged neatly into your trousers without fear, and also this triangular pattern will make sure that it doesn't come out of your trousers. So the design is really good, but I will say that if you're wearing thicker trousers like jeans, trousers like chinos, things like this, for me, the magnets don't connect. And I'll put a little bit of footage up screen here. So I don't know if this is because I'm a slimmer guy or what the reason is exactly, or if denim is just too thick of a material for the magnets to attract through or connect through. But that does mean that, as you can see in the video, the holder does poke out a little bit from the body. That can be a little bit uncomfortable. So for me, a person with a slim body, and also I'm under 6 foot, I'm about 5'10". So when I sit down, if I have this on my back, directly on my back, in the center of my back, if I sit down, it's really uncomfortable. If you're taller, you may not have that problem because you have a longer distance between your waist and your butt that is going to be contacting the seat. So I don't know if taller people won't have an issue with that. I can't test it as I'm not taller, but that was a bit of an issue for me. It is a bit uncomfortable. So I would recommend for people of my height, 5'10", 5'9", 5'11", I would say that the best angle is to have it on the side, but that does also line up with the same placement for the really ingenious deck switch. I would also like to point out that this isn't the only kind of deck holder out there. I do think this is a very good one. It's one of the best ones. I'm going to put a little bit of footage up on screen now of another deck holder, which I highly recommend. I don't own it just yet, but I have it on good authority that these products are really good products. And you'll see that the one that's on screen, it attaches to your belt rather than slipping into your trousers. So I think that for some people, if you want to hold a deck of cards along your back, then this is probably a better option if you're under 6 foot. Because as I say, this Colt 52 is a bit uncomfortable if you are sitting down and you have it in the placement on your back. The other and final point I will say is that, as you can see in this video clip, if you're wearing an untucked t-shirt or if you're wearing an untucked jumper or anything like that, then of course there is going to be some overhang over the top of it. It does work best. Colt 52 works best when you are wearing a tucked in t-shirt or a tucked in shirt in your trousers. That will give you the best and easiest way of retrieving and ditching, I say ditching, replacing the deck of cards that's going back into the holder. If you do wear any kind of clothing, t-shirt, jumper that is hanging over it, it will make it a little bit more difficult to handle. I think that's my very last tip. Colt 52 is a fantastic product. I highly recommend it. It should be something that is in every gigging magician's bag of tricks or box of equipment. And that's the review for today. If you have any questions, then leave a comment below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.